that's the reasoning, and that's why we did have like a double group kind of played yesterday, and we'll try and cast the bits and pieces of Group D at some point as well. But let's get into some action. In the bottom right-hand side, our blue Protoss player from Sidestorm. This is MaxPax. While in the top left, our red Terran player is going to be Oliveira. Game number 1 of this best of 3. As we kick this off, we get this going, have a look to see what's going to go down in the early stages of Neo-Humanity. As we get everything, like I say, up and running, ready to go. A little bit of action. See what the heck our day is going to bring us when it comes to the Kung Fu Cup. As MaxPax has yet to win one of these, right? Let me just do some looking around, my friends. Give me 1 second. I'm pretty sure he's always finished up in like is there no like overall? There's no easy way to see it. Oh, yeah, kind of this, yes. So yeah, he finished up. Okay, last week he did finish second. I actually did. Oh crap, just spoiled myself because I didn't finish casting the top 4 from last week. I wanted to go and cast those replays. Maybe we will. I'll probably not remember that at some point. But he's got third. He finished up 3rd place. Didn't play. 3rd place. 2nd place. So he's been pretty consistent in these. Of course, Oliveira got the finals in the first week of the Kung Fu Cup. Played against Cyril there. Has not played too many of them. Well, he's played a few of them since, but he hasn't earned too many WTL points. So, yeah. There you go. That's what's going on. Kung Fu Cup is something that MaxPax continuously does well in. Obviously, a tougher first round match here against Oliveira. We'll see how that ends up. We'll see how that goes. As we have a reactor coming down, a factory on the way, a couple Marines popping up, the warp gates coming in, the Adept is continuing to build as well. This Marine currently being chased back by a Zealot, and a few SCVs are going to pull out. They're going to come down to the low ground, and they're just going to go after that Zealot as well and try and get a little surround on it. Try and stop it from coming through. Here's another bunker will also be placed. Twilight Council additionally on the way, and we do get rid of the Zealot. A couple of Adepts now showing up to try and keep on the harassment, but yeah, it seems pretty comfortable here so far for Oliveira. The defense is good. MaxPax will not be able to commit through for too much more throughout these early stages, so it does look as though that is going to be about it for now. Robo facility, gateway, all that coming through as we do have our starport coming up as well. Dark Shrine Robo facility also coming through, and we just get a lot of this set up on the way at the moment, so a lot of this coming in for now. So yeah, so far, so good. Looking decent as we have ourselves the Dark Shrine just making its way on in. Obviously, MaxPax loves to play this disruptive playstyle. You know, a couple units early, Dark Shrine, just these harassment-focused things that can really obviously go very well for you and really put you into a good lead in the game if they, you know, if they do well, and if you do have that kind of knock-on effect of the first thing distracts your opponent from the second thing, which distracts them a little bit further, and all those sort of, all those kind of things. You know what I mean? But that was a terrible sentence, wasn't it? But if the first Zealot and the Adept throw you off as Oliveira, then maybe you're not quite as prepared for the Dark Templar, which then if they throw you off even further, the next thing along, it's even harder from MaxPax, and that's the kind of continuous effect which I really feel as though is very likely to, usually give MaxPax a lot of success in these games. That's the sort of playstyle he does love to play around a lot of the time, so it's definitely worth noting. Raven Marines, the siege tank all setting up, and we do have ourselves the Prism just going to head into the main base. Raven is coming up as well, a few Marines coming across, and a couple of Zealots dropping down. We do have probes, barracks, Marines all continuing to produce here. A few SCVs having gone down just now, and a few of them actually continue to go down. First DT in the natural is putting in some pretty reasonable and respectable work to start out. 8 workers. Yeah, 8 workers plus your force and a scan, even though there was a Raven built here. That's always a good start of this. So, yeah, MaxPax 1 DT, 8 workers, and he is happy. And you can see Oliveira down 17 workers. It's obviously way more than you're meant to have at this point in time. He could Matrix the Prism, and that's a dead Archon. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. A Matrix on a morphing Archon pauses the morph. Did you guys know that? I don't think I've ever seen somebody Matrix a morphing Archon, quite frankly. That was... wow. I had... like, he cast it on the Archon, I was like... well, a Matrix unit can still... I was like, is it still going to go in the Prism? And then it was like, it just stopped morphing. I was like, oh my god. Oliveira's hacked into the mainframe. He's doing things no one else has ever thought of. We do have our Marines and a couple of siege tanks here are going to set up shop, and they will push their way through this base. So Nex is taking quite a lot of damage. Marines will continue to take some shots, deal some hits. Mortal coming forward, going to start taking a bit of a blasting adept. Trying to come forward too. We're just going to be seeing the Matrix now hitting the Immortal, take some of the firepower out of this army of MaxPax. Oliveira took a beating on the other side of the map, and he absolutely needs to bounce back if he wants to be okay in this game. Considering the amount of damage he took, the amount of workers he was behind, as Immortal that's just wandering off. Fortunately, doesn't really wander into anything dangerous, but that will be much more useful with the main chunk. It's not something that's going to flank on its own typically. Stalkers blink in. It looks like it is go time. Stalkers are going to get rid of the tanks, while the Immortals just left plunking through Marines. Well, you know, after all is said and done, obviously Oliveira loses everything in this army. He killed a good amount himself, and he has taken this time to catch back up on workers, only 5, 6, 7 behind. Much more manageable amount than the 17 he was at earlier. MaxPax still has had a good income advantage, and the resources loss is kind of even. MaxPax is actually going to instantly counterattack. He doesn't believe that Oliveira has a defense ready at home. We'll see if that's true or not. He has Stim and combat shields, and he has bio in a bunker. I feel like he might be okay, although the bigger goal here for MaxPax might just be playing the contain game. The longer you sit here, the less likely it is Oliveira is going to get to his third base, and that might just be the goal, though. He did really amp up the pressure to move in towards this natural for just a couple of moments there, but now everything being turned around. Zealots being chased. Bio continue to hunt those. I'm going to grab one, going to grab two. Going to start to hit the rocks a little bit. Is actually going to finish these off and just stop MaxPax from attacking through the middle of the map as easily as he was doing so just then. So it's going to take that one out of the way in terms of possibilities. You also have a +1 attack on the Forge coming through, and everything else still just being brought on into play. Well, everything does just calm down then for a few moments as charge +1. A couple of DTs warp in off that prism and will begin to make their way forward. A third CC getting set to land. As those couple of DTs are going to split up. One trying to jump into towards the natural is going to get scanned and jumped on immediately. Another one over to the left-hand side is just still chilling here. He's actually going to get quite a few SCVs that started to build a turret, so the return of the DTs, they've not been around for a while. Obviously, we lost the Archon earlier, and that is going to be pretty costly. DT finally goes down. 14 SCVs killed, though. This is obviously very good damage, and just as Oliveira felt like he was maybe starting to take a step back into the game, MaxPax shows up, and he has Oliveira running around silly, and that's looking, of course, then very good for MaxPax, whose Zealots go charging in, those bio units getting taken down, Widow Mines are going to get burrowing. And as they unburrow, just going to see those Marauders pressing forward. Zealots are going to turn back around again. EMP's going down all over the shop, and we split up. We let the mines go onto one chunk of the Zealots. As we do clean up all the mines, they're not going to fire again. However, we do get a jump on the Immortals. First one dead, second one will fall, and the Stalkers decide they need a blink out of here. So Oliveira has held, but with extremely little supply. I mean, he's pushed it back, I guess it's a better way of saying. He pushed it back. He has not died right then and there, but he's taken enough damage that he doesn't see it worthwhile sticking in it and playing into the future. In the top right-hand corner, we will start off with the blue Protoss player from Storm Gaming. This upper game is MaxPax. Bottom left, our red Terran Oliveira. Coming for the bounce back. Let's see if he can do it. He actually had a good counterattack in that game. I was kind of impressed. all things considered. Do you have our gateway coming up, SCV coming in. Barracks going down on the other side. As I thought, you know, with 17 SCVs right behind right at the start, he was just going to be kind of dead as a dodo, as my good friend Demi would say. But he did kind of stand up and, like I say, he bounced back a little bit. He had that kind of push back. He had that fight back. That's very cool to see, as we just have probes mining away. Nothing too serious or notable going on over here just for the moment. So it's going to finish up. We do have a Nexus on the way in. Cybernex core being built. And do we cancel that cell? Yeah, no need to keep it. So we're just going to get rid of that straight away here. And on we go. Alicio SC2, how you doing? Thank you so much for the 37-month resub. Welcome back. Good to have you. Thanks for supporting the channel today. For so long. As our Reaper's going to be popping out in just a couple of moments. We do have another Reaper starting up as well. And across the board looking pretty reasonable here still. As we do have our Warp Gate coming. Our Depths on the way. Just waiting to see what the tech choice is going to be. Factory before an expansion from Oliveira obviously means a little bit more aggression from him. A little bit more on the aggressive side of things. Really good against someone like MaxPax that does like to be very active. That does like to get up and personal in your faces and all the rest of it. So no surprises about that, as we do have the first Reaper pinging away at the pylon to start us out as well. Proxy Gate is going to be found, so good spot from Oliveira. Well, like I say, he has the earlier factory now. Reaper Hellion isn't necessarily going to do much against the 3 gateways of Warpins. It might be fine against this first Adept or so, but there is a point where it just becomes a little bit too much, and the Adept realizing it's going to go down just shades in to guarantee the Reaper kill. Not a bad choice. It's the correct choice, in fact. Absolutely. Gonna kill the probe. Do we really believe we can get rid of this pylon before a serious amount of units come here to defend this? I don't believe that. I think that's a missed call. We don't have Warpin yet. Warp Gate's not ready. Stalker will try and buy a little bit more time for that Warp Gate to finish. Chrono Boost went down on it. There it is. Now Warp Gate is done. And with 3 more Stalkers here, we should be fine. Although we have had to now give up a second, unit here. Stalker goes down to protect this. Obviously, you can argue that that is already decent for Oliveira, because then he's still chipping through these initial units that otherwise would be showing up, so. Stalkers come forward, a couple of SCVs being picked away at. Stalkers begin to move up the ramp. And away we go. Aliens on the other side, actually. Do get a couple of probes, nothing too major, all said and done, but yeah, a few workers going down. Nice little counterattack. So while we are taking damage on this side, we at least put some pressure in on the other. But with the tank coming up, we should now be able to truly secure our natural expansion as well. So that's obviously going to be extremely important to kind of stop this from doing even further damage and stop this from kind of just sticking around forever, right? Prism coming up as well to keep the pressure up here. Raven on the way from Oliveira. Things do settle down then. Obviously, he does get his natural expansion into place. See that Banshee showing up though, and that's going to be a little bit of a funky one. Something a little bit different. You see our Banshee again back into play, and again just into the main base now for a few more probes. Doing a pretty good job of this. All said and done. Couple of Stalkers firing up a storm. We do have with 6 probes killed. MaxPax probably feeling like he needs to do some amount of damage here. As, oh my god, that Prism very nearly goes down. It just about gets out of there. My goodness. Well, Blink coming up, Robo Bay coming through. Do you have a Nexus going down? A couple more Probies on the way out as well. Obviously, with Blink about to be here, we do have MaxPax hitting a new level of harassment, but I don't think he really has the unit number with the economy that he's had and the disruptions he's had to face this game to really stand up against, you know, or to move into this base and try and get something done. So I would not be too surprised to see there's not really develop into much. I mean, you can already see this tank here, a lot of Marines protecting it. That does not feel like a good blink in, and obviously that is kind of agreed on the other side as well. And we've seen our Stalkers coming back around, trying to see a little bit more of just what is happening. Our Stalkers come on through, little bits and pieces going on. Just for the moment, so far so good. We do have ourselves the Raven coming by. It's going to be porting in just a few moments. Stalker's still sitting on the front, a couple more barracks coming through, stim and everything continuing in as well. Fire comes stimming forward, a few Stalkers taking some shots. You just have our Colossus is about to finish up, and with more Colossus coming out, you do have that splash damage that might make it be okay for you defending. We've got 2, it is up against a Raven, remember, and that Raven can be influential against Colossi. A couple of Matrixes can go such a long way so quickly. MaxPax grid sits in a forward position. There is the Colossus being Matrix, but a second Colossus showing up, but that one may get dove on here. Like Oliveira maybe could have taken one more step forward, jumped straight onto it. He does have a second Matrix battery, goes down, he popped super battery the moment before it died. Mistake from MaxPax, although I think he might just be okay. Oh, well, that Colossus took a tank shot, then the other Colossus gets dove on again. It's messy. I thought he might just have enough to shut it down. The Zealots didn't have charge, though, so they weren't as much of an addition as I thought they might be at the very get-go. Marauders moving up. Stalkers will blink forward, and a Medivac will go down immediately. +1 attack is going to be coming up. +1 again, about to be finishing. We do have our armor upgrade continuing through, and a couple of Bions coming in. Going to pick off an Adept. Going to turn it back around towards the 3rd base. Prism going to be chilling out down on the bottom side. We do have our armory coming up. A couple extra Marauders and Marines and armor upgrade continuing to build in it as well. Here comes the Prism, going to sneak in, gets around the mine, which is very important because that Prism is a mine shot away from death, so that is flirting with danger. And this might just be the turnaround that MaxPax needs, pulling Oliveira's army back, not letting him get aggressive right now, where MaxPax is clearly struggling when it comes to army supply. He's down by about 30, so he is not in a good position when it comes to that. Oh! Well, he was flirting with death, and on the way out, he unfortunately flirts a little bit too hard, gets slapped in the face. Prism goes down. We do lose probes over in the natural expansion to a Widow Mine drop, so that's going to get a grab as well. And for anything that MaxPax just gained, a lot of it just got undone moments later, it would seem. As our Stalkers come through, the Medivac taking a bunch of shots. A couple of Widow Mines going to be going down. 6 probes have been cleared out as our bio runs up to the top, cleans out the 12 o'clock. Going to see a few more bio units coming through and picking up another Zealot or so. Just for the moment. Stalker going to sit, and the Colossus will get some damage onto it. Do you clean up the Widow Mine, and MaxPax continues to just get kind of bullied around here. This recovery from the early game is not going so hot just now. It's not really been the, you know, the sunshine, rainbows, and whistles that is maybe marked out to be. For a point, I actually thought he was maybe going to be okay, but definitely going to be taking a bit of a rougher turn as you do see our units moving back towards the third base. Army on the right-hand side against setup. Zealot going to take down an SCV. Command center taking some damage, and that's a scan to grab an observer as well. We are also going to knock down a pylon. Zealots will begin to press on in. Just going to be seeing a couple of SCVs going down. Colossi again turning into this. A Marine Marauder taking some hefty shots. Disruptive production continues through. +2 attack is about to finish, and 2-2 is on the way from Oliveira. Just getting that going. Ghost on the way. Couple more Vikings also coming up, and Oliveira's number still looking good. Just getting all that tech to keep on going through. Both force shields go down. Wonderman takes a shot. Doing a little bit there, here and there. A few ghosts coming up. A few Marines on the way. Bioforce coming down to the south side. And the SCVs are going to be immediately in a bit of trouble. Another Wonderman goes off. We do see the couple Colossi firing away. It's a Marine going down. Big army going to stem in from a couple different directions. EMP's going down. Disruptor shots trying to come through. And, well, obviously MaxPax, we've talked about him being behind the entire time. Yet here he is trying to be the aggressor. It's obviously not going well as he gets cleaned up. Losing all of his tech units is not going to be pretty. And that's going to be GG's. Oliveira ties it up 1-1. In the bottom left-hand side, our red Terran player, this is going to be Oliveira tying it up in that game number 2. As in the top right corner, our blue Protoss from Psystorm, it is MaxPax. Alright then, game number 3 comes down to this. Winner gets to move on and obviously has a pretty good chance of going fairly deep in this event. We know both these players are very capable. So, pretty big match to start off with. As we got a depot down. Let's see if he comes through. Some more refinery setting up. Racks on the way. We do just have ourselves the whole setup going. Rex comes in, refinery coming. Just going to be seeing our probe of MaxPax coming down to this bottom left-hand side. Going to go on a little bit of a scout here. Gateway is coming up. Going to go checking into the main. Probe continues to scout around a little bit. Again, Reaper's about halfway done. Cybercore, Nexus, all of this building. We do have ourselves the factory also dropping into place here from Oliveira. So getting that factory down and rumbling. In these early stages. Not too much going on though. Not too much. Obviously, we saw early game aggression last time around from Oliveira. That didn't really power through to anything too wild in the end. It was mostly his ability to kind of shut MaxPax down. I guess the Banshee and Storm was kind of cool. It's going to be a Reaper hopping up. We'll need to hop back down. And then Deb getting a little cheeky shot off as well, so some damage being done here and there, bits and pieces. being laid out for the moment across these early stages. TvP can't do much. They're popping out. Just going to see our Phoenix on the way in. Warp gate getting established as well. Obviously, Phoenix, a very safe way to open. It's a good way to negate a lot of the early damage potential from Oliveira. And MaxPax then feels if he can get into that mid game, he should be able to do a decent amount from there on out, I would guess. A couple of Marines still coming through. Phoenix producing is going to be now on 2 Phoenix in total. That should be pretty good for dealing with this little drop, although the drop actually unloads and is just going to walk across the map. That might make the Phoenix a little bit less effective, of course, because then you can't catch a medevac flying in or anything like that.
Game paused.
Tommy's not having a good couple of days of internet, I tell you that much. He really isn't.
Game resumed.
Libera is about halfway done. Cyclone is on the way out. A few adepts of MaxPax just sitting out the front. I'm just going to see a little bit of the bio. Just starting to move forward here from Oliveira. A couple of those mines going to get burrowed up as well. Phoenix lift up a Cyclone. We do see the medevac taking a little bit of extra damage. Liberator gets sieged up. Couple shots from the Liberator. Wouldn't mind as well. Hits good on the Phoenix. Obviously, super battery in play, but that wouldn't mind shot was good. I tell you what, if the super battery wasn't there, this would have been really bad for MaxPax, but he was held onto by that super battery. That really did help him out a whole chunk. And away we go. Medevac out down to the south. Full of Marines. Cyclone, a few more Marines setting up as well. We will drop a few more Marines out on the main base. SCV pulls in for a cheeky bit of repairing. And these Phoenix and MaxPax continue out down to the south side of the map. Factory moves off a tech lab. An extra barracks getting placed into position. Cyclone locks on, Phoenix get pushed away. Just going to be seeing the Phoenix still skirting up that left-hand side. Another Nexus drops into the third base as well. Extended thermal lance coming through. Colossus still building up. Again, just some units transferring across through the top side. +1 attack. Will also begin on the Forge. We do have Stimpack Combat Shield and +1. All coming through as our Cyclone gets some shots off. Phoenix taking some damage. As our Cyclone just comes through, Phoenix gonna get another lift up and gets dropped back down. Marines continuing up. We do have Oliveira just really ramping up the pressure a little bit. Scan comes in. Pylon gonna take a little bit of damage. Just gonna stim it up. Knock that Pylon down. Pylon to the far right side getting knocked down here as well as our Colossi continue through. More Marines stemming up a storm. Cyclones remaining with those lock-ons a little bit longer. Oliveira back around this bottom side. Vikings, Marauders all continuing up. Couple more barracks still producing through. Vikings gonna grab one more Marine down this right-hand side. Vikings, Ghosts, Academy, all that's still setting up as we continue through. Let's come through. A couple of Zards gonna get knocked down. Army heads down towards the bottom left. Phoenix, Colossi, MaxPax in general just making a bit of a move out. Oliveira holding his own in terms of supply, and we do have our Ghosts and Vikings continue to come on in. Don't mind, gonna come through. Zard's gonna get blown up here. Vikings will pull back. We do have a Bioforce gonna come forward. Phoenix taking a little bit of damage. Hallucination. Guardian Shield in play to help with some of this. MaxPax really feeling like he can get something done here. I like those Colossi were firing from so close. A lot more SCVs still going down. Marines taking the beating. Archons trying to lead the charge in. As our Marines come forward again. Zealots do get to the front now. And as we chase on through, just going to be seeing the couple of Widow Mines going off. Is this a good pull for MaxPax? I think it is in the end. He's already killed 40 SCVs with Zealots in the natural at the same time. It is looking wonderful for him, in fact, at the end of the day. And MaxPax looks as though he's going to move on through from the first round of today's Kung Fu Cup. Looking to keep his pretty decent streak of high-end finishes in this event alive, as he is going to take out world champion Oliveira.